Trucker was started by Larry and Angela Baum, team truck drivers for FedEx, who wanted to give back to the trucking community one trucker at a time to thank them for supplying America. We're so proud to announce that we have other truckers that'll be helping us spread this across the United States. Justin and Chris, Lori and James, Dutch, Larry and Angie. Please be sure to visit us on Facebook at Treat a Trucker to learn how you can treat a trucker to a free meal today. And don't forget about our Christmas raffle that is being sponsored by Trucker's View, where on New Year's Eve you can win one of 4 amazing prizes. All proceeds will go directly to Treat a Trucker to help benefit all the truckers in 2022.
Hello, 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 hello.
It'd be us.
It'd be us. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Sweet. And you did good connecting us this time.
I'm sure it don't hurt that we got decent Wi-Fi.
Do what?
I said, I'm sure it don't hurt that we got decent signal.
Yeah. But what about Justin? We're missing our big spoon. He's trying. He's working on it. He's working on getting his way on in here. He'll be here soon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's probably having some connection issues right now.
Yeah. Hey, we got hit with a lot of snow. I got stuck in my driveway. I had to shovel myself out, and man, I got so winded.
I'll bet. Yeah, we got lucky. We just had some ice.
And you didn't have to go too far from your pickup to where you're at, huh?
60 miles.
Very cool. And you're down for the night, which is another thing very cool.
Well, we just decided since we don't have to be there till Monday, why beat ourselves up, drive at night when I'd prefer not to drive.
Yeah. That's the perfect time to stop.
Especially when it's as cold as it is out. Because night times when there's more ice, yeah, I'll just wait till morning and go then.
Absolutely. You're in a safe spot. Stay there overnight.
Yep.
Any word on Justin?
Mm-mm.
He's still working on it. So Justin's got some amazing news.
Yeah,
I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it because he's going to come on here and he has got a huge, huge announcement.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it either.
I agree with the one you guys been through weight scale inspection.
Yeah. That's so we're trying not to spoil.
Should we talk about inspections while we're trying to get him in?
Yeah.
All right. So, I guess our show is on inspections and weight scales, weigh stations, and what they do there. How many times have you got pulled in for level 1 inspection where they go underneath and check everything?
Well, with Werner, I probably got pulled in maybe once every 4 or 5 months. But since I switched to Stampede Express, 2 days after I picked the truck up, I actually got pulled in.
Yeah.
For a level 1.
Oh, wow. Go ahead.
I passed it, of course. Got my little sticker on the window and haven't been pulled in since.
Very good. I've had about 4, I think 4 or 5. It's either 4 or 5, one of the two. Huh?
I've had 0.
Angie's had 0.
Lori's had 0.
So I guess I'll go into what the inspections are. Like we're talking about level 1 inspection. So when you get pulled into a level 1 inspection, they'll tell you to go around back and pull into a bay. And then they come up to your window and they like to check for your personal paperwork and your truck paperwork. So they'll check your driver's license, they'll check your medical card, they'll check the truck's proof of insurance, and those 2 books right there. You've got to have them. Yeah, after you pass all that, then they'll pop on their their little dolly there, their creeper, and go underneath. And then underneath your truck and trailer, they'll check your brakes, make sure things in proper working order, no air leaks anywhere. They'll check your tank, sure it's secured, and make sure it's locked and secured. Check your rims, your tires, your spring mounts, your tubing hoses, and they'll check that for leaks. And they'll check your horn and your windshield wipers once they come back out, and your lights and their inspection is they'll tell you to park. And you should have your window down, radio off, so when you pull up, you hear them in the loudspeaker. Driver of whatever, FedEx, pull into a parking spot and wait for us to come out. So you sit there and you wait. They'll come out. They'll check all your paperwork. And they'll do the vehicle inspection. They'll walk around. It's pretty much a pre-trip. It takes about 30 minutes. The level 1 inspection takes about an hour. And a level 3 is the driver only. They'll say, driver, park your truck, bring your paperwork in, and you'll bring in your driver's license, your medical card, truck's insurance, and registration.
MBLL.
People are saying you're cutting out.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Okay, I can't read the comments. Uh-oh. I'm alone. I don't know. Larry just dropped out and then dropped back in now.
I'm in. I'm good. Yes.
Yeah, you're
Thumbs
good.
up. All
You're good.
right. Cool. And then we got the level 4. That's a special inspection. We've had that happen to me before. It's where you pull up, and we were doing doubles at that time. We had 22 wheels. One of them was flat. How they knew, I don't know. Pulled up on the scale as a driver, pull around and park and check your wheels. Had pulled around, parked, went out with my thumper, found a flat tire, called on road. About 3 hours from the time I called to the time I was gone. It's about 3 hours. So after they come out and fix it, got to bring the paperwork inside and prove they fixed it. I can't read that at
Your
all.
brother saying hi.
Oh, yo, bro. You're right on. Yeah, in this format, up and down, I can't read those comments at all.
Yeah,
And then you got the radio.
they're low enough on the screen I can't see them.
Yeah, I can't see them at all. But maybe the viewers can. So keep popping them up, baby. Yeah. And then there's a level 6. Oh, wait, no, level 5. Sorry, I'm on level 5. Level 5 inspection is the truck inspection. You will go in and they will check your paperwork. They'll check the truck's paperwork, and they will sit you down in a chair while they inspect your truck without you present. We had that done in crossing the border, coming back from Canada. That was scary. Holy crap. Brought us in there, checked our pockets, put us in a chair, and we were there for almost an hour.
Lock the dogs up.
Locked our dogs up. Yes, they put them in a kennel. And then at level 6. Level 6 is an inspection for radiation and a hazmat. They'll check all your paperwork. They'll check your unit numbers and check your placards. That's a pretty heavy one right there. They check a lot when you're hazmat or radioactive. And I guess they'll check the loads on flatbeds. I'm pretty sure that one, level 6 would be loads also for flatbeds. And then if you fail any of those inspections, James, what happens to them?
Well, if you fail any of the inspections, there are lots of things that can happen. It includes fines. You can be put out of service, which means the truck does not move unless it's towed. The driver can lose their license. There can be jail time involved. The company that owns the truck can actually get a compliance investigation done on them, and that company can actually lose its authority to move freight, depending on the severity of the violations.
And I forgot to mention, which was like the most important thing that I was saving for the last, most common infractions at waste fails is overweight. That's and that is all on the driver. If you are overweight, 100% driver's fault.
Yeah,
We got a load that I was suspecting that was overweight. I used their scale, leaving their yard. They said we were at 78,000 pounds. Like, okay, cool. Came to the first scale I came to, pulled in there, we were at 82,000. I parked it, made them come and unload merchandise to get me under 80.
Big spoon, sir.
Big Spoon! Welcome, sir. Can you hear us?
He can hear us. We just can't hear him.
You two just talk amongst yourself.
Justin, say something.
Just keep talking.
We got Angie in the background working on it. She will get her done.
Of course you will.
What would a scale house? Why would a scale house ask you to go around back?
That's where they do the inspections. You pull up onto the scale, and you got the green light or the red light. You got the window right there. They're watching you. And if there's a speaker right here off to the side, you will hear them. But if they want to check your vehicle, they want to check your paperwork, they want to check anything out, they pull you around back. That's where the inspection station is in the parking lots, the parking spots. And you get the green light, you go, keep on trucking.
I think you wanted to know what are some things.
Whenever we come up to a scale, we have a green light and a red light on our window. It's all our pre-pass. And if everything's good, we get the green light and we can pass it up. So every time we're coming up on a scale, we're both all like green, 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 green.
Justin's showing the pre-pass.
Yep, he sure is.
Put it on the big screen.
Oh, he moved it.
Too late.
Sorry.
Oh crap! My bad. Sorry.
No, it's my bad. I'm sorry.
Now we hear you.
Oh. Well, in that case, something.
Yep, understood every word. We were lip reading. Although you are very dark, but you're driving.
He's sexy.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
What? I'm making her nervous.
That's the one who's the surprise of truckers.
So, what kind of news do you have for us there, Big Spoon?
Who said I had news?
I did.
You did.
I did. Oh, look at that! Yay!
Chris is on the side.
Yes.
Welcome aboard.
That's the news.
That's amazing news.
You check someone.
What was that, Lori?
She was talking to Chris, not you.
Tell Chris I said hi, gorgeous. Hey, gorgeous.
I'm actually using her phone because for some reason my phone has no internet service in Greenville where we live. So.
Oh.
But since everybody can hear me, I want to say hi, divas.
She tried hollering back. I don't know if y'all heard her.
So we I don't know what you heard, but we talked about inspections and what happens when you fail inspections. You got some technology and gadgets and stuff you like to talk about? Big Spoon?
Oh, hold on. Oh, wow. I'm getting blown up. My phone just got service back.
Oh, right on. I'm
think
sorry,
gonna
James. Were you done or did you have more?
No, basically, I was pretty much done. I mean, it's, the penalties, whether you fail an inspection, you're overweight, whatever the issue is, it's going to be either fines, they're going to put you out of service, they can take your driver's license, suspend your license.
No. Yeah,
They can take and investigate the company, take away the company's authority to haul freight. So yeah, we got some big responsibility on our shoulders because we're responsible for making sure that doesn't happen to our companies.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Can I take the reins here and share a incident with you?
It's all
You may.
yours, buddy.
So a couple weeks ago, this think about it like this: you get pulled over in your personal car, and a cop says he's going to give you a warning. Thank you, oh my God, for us being truckers holding a CDL. It's worse than actually receiving a ticket. If you receive a ticket, you can fight it. You can argue it. I got pulled over about 3 weeks ago in Georgia. The officer was going the opposite direction. He happened to clock me on what's called antenna radar. It's usually like a little hockey puck with a couple of wires that's mounted somewhere on the car. Sometimes they'll mount it on the front bumper. They might mount it in the back window. But it has like a 180-degree radius. It's like a laser, but it's infrared. And he clocked me doing 62 and a 55. My fault. My bad. I knew what I was doing. I admitted. I took the blame. He tells me, all right, I'm going to cut you a warning. And not thinking, which I've had this happen before, unfortunately, but not thinking, I'm like, great, just a warning. All right. I can't afford a ticket right now. Well, when you notify your company of a ticket, which you're required to do under employment, because of your CVSA score or CSA scores and the company's CVSA score, especially for insurance purposes. So even a warning ticket affects not only my license, but the company's integrity. By affecting the company's integrity, brokers don't want to deal with a company if they have a low CVSA score. That's kind of it.
Yeah, that score is very important. I worked with a company when I was a day driver, local driver. I was on every day. They had some shoddy equipment. And every time I passed the scale, I was scared.
Yeah, I've had hit. I've only actually gotten hit once, and that was going into Omaha, Nebraska. Actually, when I was driving for Werner, I was heading to our main terminal there, and as I crossed the border into Nebraska, I got pulled off at the scale, and I was 1,000 pounds overweight on my drives. So it was a quick, simple fix. All I had to do is slide my tandems a little bit. But I still got, I think it was a $500 ticket I had to pay.
Wow. $500 for 1,000 pounds.
Yep. But
It's not too bad, really.
a lot of the states, it's even worse. I was looking at some of the fines. Utah breaks it down. If you're over 2,000 pounds, if you're more than 2,000 pounds overweight, they charge you 4 cents a pound.
That can add up.
Yeah. And some states charge you, Rhode Island charges you $125 a pound.
What?
Yep. It says that
That's insane.
the largest single fine in Rhode Island was $57,000 because a truck was hauling a 560,000 pound generator. So it was 7 times the legal weight allowed by the state without permits, and he did not have the permit.
I
Okay,
think I heard about that when I still lived up there.
And
That's
the
crazy.
driver has to pay that. That's on the driver. Oh, if you're overweight, you don't have the permits you need. That is 100% on the driver.
Absolutely, 100%.
But
I actually remember reading about that.
CSA score also takes a hit.
Yeah, you better wait.
Can you say something?
I remember reading something about that when I lived up in New England. And part of the driver's argument with that is actually the state of Rhode Island, as big as it is, doesn't actually have any roads that are structured to physically and capably handle that heavy of a load either.
Oh, wow. So he should have rerouted or figured out something else.
He was actually delivering into Rhode Island. So I think the case ended up initially falling on the corporation that ordered the product, because they should have researched that before attempting the delivery or looking to have a company deliver it in the first place. Yeah, once you pick up something like that and send it off, yeah, it's up to the driver. But I mean, that's one of those catch-22. Yes, it was the driver's fault for not looking ahead or being prepared or getting the proper permits, but it's also the company's fault for not thinking of that, because now they're not getting their product. Now they have to pay more to get it there a different way. It's all sorts of a headache for everybody. So,
Yeah, that would suck.
Tell them the time we were overweight in Reno.
I did.
Adult weight stayed the whole time.
Yeah.
To answer that question, do the drivers have to pay or does the company? For most of the tickets we receive, it's on the driver. It comes out of our pocket. Unless you have a contract with your company that says they will pay the fines.
Unless it's a parking ticket. In most cases, at least, if we get parking tickets, we can turn them into the company because there's no proof who the driver was.
Yeah, so if the driver has any issues with the vehicle, you should contact this company and make sure it's fixed. Or if you're an owner-op and it's something with the trailer, call the company, have it fixed.
Yeah, and don't move the truck until it is fixed.
Absolutely. And if you feel you have an overweight load, go get scaled. We're getting a new trailer once we go back on the road. We're getting a new trailer, so it'll be something different. And once I get a new trailer, the first thing I do is I go and I weigh it empty, so I'll know what I weigh empty.
Yeah, I can't really do that because I do drop and hook a lot. So I'm constantly swapping trailers out. But you can feel it when a trailer's heavy. Like the load I've got right now, it's pushing my limits. I'm at 80,000 pounds.
Definitely feel it when you're going uphill.
When I was coming over here to where I'm at right now, I could feel it that my weights were off, and sure enough, I was 3,000 pounds heavy on my drives. So once I got here, I scaled it. I slid the tandems back. Now I'm right at 34,000 on both drives and steer and tandems.
Wow, nice. And under 12 on your steers?
I'm 11,766 on my steers.
You are at that sweet spot. I love it when that happens.
Yeah, and actually, the driver next to me was nice enough that he went back there and watched while I slid so he could see, so he could help me slide just enough. And I tried to treat him with Treat a Trucker, but he refused it and said, pay it forward to the next driver.
I love it when they do that. We went out today for the first time, had breakfast, and we sat down next to a trucker. He was talking to the waitress, talking about DOT, his DOT physical, and how hard it is. He's been driving for, what did he say, 52 years. And it's a hard time for him to get up and down from the truck. That's his issue right now. But he's still trucking, so we gifted him.
He's been driving as long as I've been alive.
Isn't that crazy? 52. I can't imagine driving for 52 years. I'm at 17 right now. I don't want to say that. No. He told us a story about his brother that, man, I cannot repeat on air. No. I'll give you guys a scoop later.
All right. Oh, yeah. I wanted to send prayers out for Diane Usick. Her father passed away today.
I didn't know about it. You told me about it. I'm so sorry, Diane.
She put something up on Rolling with the Underwoods. And so I wanted to bring that up to you guys and give a shout out to her because she is an amazing woman that's been she's always watching us.
Diane is amazing. And Diane, I'm so sorry. There's a comment for James.
Hopefully you don't get no snow buildup on your trailer. Actually, we shouldn't. We're just going into Tennessee.
Hopefully the storm is over. I wish I knew a weather woman.
Yeah, me too.
Do what? Hey, Justin, can you hear me?
I can hear you guys, but honestly, my service is really, really crap tonight.
Have you ever been pulled in for?
I'm barely hearing like half of the thing.
No. Yeah, all my inspections I passed. The only time I was ever put out of service was for that flat tire. And you can also get positive points. You get a level 1 inspection and you pass it with flying colors. You get positive points. So I'm okay with going and getting inspected.
Yeah, my company actually they paid me $25 for passing that one. There
you go. That's a good one. Yeah, you get pulled in for level 1, you pass it, $25 bonus. I did. When we were detained for an hour.
So, I did say that. Barely hear half of what they're saying.
Yeah.
Just throw in a commercial real quick. 2 and 2. Maybe not. Maybe we're staying here. All right, here comes the commercial. I got the point.
We're bad.
Married to the Road. Follow Larry and Angie Baum and their 2 fur babies, Gizmo and Bandit, as they trek across America, trying to make a difference in the trucking community. As the founders of Trucker Safety Info, they inform truckers about bad weather, construction, accidents, and more. Also the founders of Treat a Trucker, where they gift truckers with Walmart and food gift cards to show their appreciation to the American trucker. Follow their journey on Married to the Road on Facebook today.
Treat a trucker. I love that freaking program. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Me too.
So have you heard of any horror stories during inspections? I have not.
I actually have. We had a person, I'm not going to say who it is, but he was new to the industry. And he got pulled in on an inspection, and he had just taken over from his trainer driving. And his trainer was asleep in the sleeper. He got pulled in for an inspection. They had found 6 or 7 different violations with the truck and trailer. They also said that he had already been logged in as driving for 4 hours when he had just started. There was a lot of other problems, but they got put out of service and escorted to the nearest truck stop by the police to park the truck. Come to find out later, the trailer and the stuff in the trailer was stolen. And the trainer was actually the one that stole it. And was also caught with drugs in the truck and a whole bunch of other things. So I really felt bad for that guy who's starting off his career in a situation like that.
Yeah, that's a true horror story. Wow. Not anything like that.
But it wasn't me.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. So what do you guys think about the convoy in Canada?
I fully support 100% that convoy in Canada.
So do I. I agree. And now it's coming to here. In March 1st. March 1st, there's going to be a convoy from California to Washington, D.C. So USA has joined in.
Yeah, I don't believe that. Well, the Supreme Court has already said that mandates for the vaccine are unconstitutional. So mandating that we must be vaccinated to go across the border into Canada or from Canada to the United States, it's unconstitutional. The federal government has no right to do it.
I agree with that 100%.
So, I mean, I've said this before. I think that whether or not to get vaccinated is a personal choice. I support anybody who makes the choice to get vaccinated. I support anybody who makes the choice not to get vaccinated.
Same here. You have the right to put in your body whatever you want, or not.
Exactly.
Your body, your choice.
Yep, and I'm not going to judge either way.
I don't think anybody should lose their job over it.
I agree.
I think it sucks.
It
What are you
does.
talking about this Saturday, tomorrow?
I know that you guys have a friend that is a driver up in Canada that did lose her job over the vaccine.
Pam Dixon Hershey.
Yep.
Yep. She lost her job because she did not get vaccinated, which I think is so wrong. So wrong. Got a comment from Phil. Read it, baby.
I worked for an owner-operator once. We got some fix-it tickets that he failed to send copies to the states, and I actually got my license suspended and had to go to each state and pay the fine and then go back to my DMV just to get my license back.
Ouch.
That's not fair.
No, that's not.
And Kathy Cutler agrees with you, James.
Kathy's on our side. She's on the good side.
Well, I think if Justin could actually hear us and had decent signal, he'd agree too. But
I agree. You agree.
You know,
Justin, say
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
did you hear me say kudos?
my peanut gallery says she agrees too.
My peanut agrees also. Justin!
I agree. Did you hear me?
Yeah, you agree.
All I know is my service is crap.
You're crap.
Justin said all he
I,
knows.
I was really looking forward to be a part of tonight's show, and
You are. We hear you.
I want
Say something.
to know my phone. Like, I can barely hear half of what you guys keep saying.
Oh.
I hear
That's
you
why I'm
quit.
really talking.
Tell a story.
Pete and Repeat went out on a boat. Pete fell in. Who was left?
Repeat.
Hey now.
Pete and Repeat went out on a boat.
I can do this all day.
I can't. I lose it after the second or third time.
Knock, knock.
So, sure, I got a story for you. If my service will let you all hear it.
Okay, we hear you.
So, in regards to safety and inspection and everything, you know, a lot of the reason why we get pulled in is incidences like what I'm about to tell you. When I lived in southeastern Connecticut about 10 or 15 years ago, there was a construction company. I don't remember where they were based out of, but there was a very tragic accident on what we know as Avon Mountain in Avon, Connecticut. It was I want to say it was about a 90s-ish triaxle dump truck. Lost his brakes going down the mountain early in the morning during rush hour traffic.
Oh, geez.
And, you know, this isn't like big city. It's just kind of like, it's country-like in the hills. And, you know, you got traffic light built up about every couple of miles. But it's just right outside of Hartford. Apparently the guy lost his brakes, and there was a chain event of about 26 to 30 cars were involved. Multiple fatalities. The owners of the company apparently had records of this vehicle having brake issues and refused to have it fixed. They also apparently had no insurance on that truck that morning. As soon as they heard about the accident, the first thing they did was call the insurance company to try to make sure they would have coverage before the news caught up with the insurance company. Needless to say, the owners were indicted. Their company was, liquidated, and it no longer exists, and they'll never, I don't even think they'll even ever see the light of day from prison. But it's reasons like that why DOT is so strict on us, why we've got to make sure these machines are capable of doing what they're expected to do day in, day out, hundreds and thousands of miles upon miles upon miles. It's some serious abuse.
Well, look at that driver in Colorado.
Right.
He
Lost his brakes.
I'm hearing a robot voice again. I don't know how much of that you guys heard.
No,
Heard
we
it
heard
all.
all of it. But yeah, that driver in Colorado, you know, the company knew that the brakes on the trailer were bad. They knew that the kid didn't have the license to be interstate. He was intrastate only. And yet they still sent him out there. I haven't heard if the company has gotten any repercussions back on that yet, but initially that kid got 100 years.
You just tell her we'll call shortly.
But I've heard that they have downgraded that. I haven't really followed that story much anymore.
Yeah, they went from one extreme to another.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that driver had a lot of choices on his way down that hill.
Yep.
he did, but that company needs to be held responsible too, because they also knew that that trailer was bad.
If they knew that trailer was bad and they sent it out, they should be responsible also.
Absolutely.
But you hear about it a lot. I mean, equipment fails, and then you go back and find out the driver's telling you, "Hey, the company knew. I informed the company that this was bad. They told me to go ahead and run it."
Don't run it.
No,
Don't run it. If you know it's not right and your company tells you to run it, don't run it. It's not worth it.
don't run it, or if you do go ahead and run it, get it in writing from the company that says they want you to run it, even though they know that issue is with it.
Yeah.
See
why, if they will do that. Yeah, that dude in Colorado, he went from 110 years down to 10 years.
Yeah, that was something.
Get out in 6.
That was something my trainer told me when I first started actually with Werner. Is he told me that if there was any issues with the truck or trailer, and I contacted the company and told them about it, and they tell me to go ahead and run it anyway, tell them I want it in writing.
You know, we are with the most amazing company right now. If there was an issue with anything and I told our boss about it, he would say, "Get it fixed." First words out of his mouth, "Get it fixed."
Yeah, our company is the same way. Every time I've called them with even the most minor thing, they've said, "Okay, stop and get it fixed."
Even right now, we've been out of work for 3 weeks. We want to get back as quickly as possible, but our boss is saying, "Take whatever time you need. Our health is more important," which, holy crap, that made me feel good.
Yeah, a lot of companies, if you're out of the truck for more than 2 or 3 weeks, they're going to give that truck to somebody else.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Make you go in, clear all your stuff out, give the truck up, and then when you're ready to come back, they say they'll give you a different truck.
Yep. But we don't have to worry about that. We got lucky. We're blessed to where we're at.
Most of the time, any fines or penalties falls on the driver.
Yeah. Gary says most of the fines and penalties fall on the driver, and that is absolutely correct. We are the ones out there. We are in charge of that vehicle. It is our responsibility. We should know if there's anything wrong with that vehicle.
Well, and I agree with that, but even if you get it in writing, yeah, it's still going to fall on the driver. But at the same time, it's also going to put some of that responsibility on the company as well, because they're saying, "We know that this is wrong, but we're telling our driver to keep going."
Right.
So, yeah, I would still end up paying for it, but the company would get something too.
They get the points. And you don't want those points. But it's the money out of the pocket that hurts the most.
Yes.
The rest area.
So you get tickets, and Justin doesn't get that big half gallon of whatever it was he was drinking.
That was his breakfast drink with some milk.
That was his breakfast drink.
He said that hubby's company is the same. If something's wrong, they get it fixed.
Yeah. To say it. I can't read it, baby. I cannot see what is up there. You should be our narrator. Read some comments.
Kathy Cutler is saying, doesn't DOT carry portable scales. Can you guys explain what a portable scale is?
Go ahead, Justin. What's a portable scale?
Hold on.
Oh, he's pulling into the rest area.
See, right now, Justin is pulling into a rest area.
No. Actually, I had somebody trying to get on the highway. 2 people on my left.
Oh, I'm going to use that as a segue.
So, and it's raining and windy. Just being on top of it.
Usually portable scales in a rest area,
Yeah.
they'll roll one out and lay it on the ground, and then you drive over it and they weigh you. So they can pretty much load it up, take it wherever they want, unload it, lay it out, and you pull up on it. So that's a portable scale, and they usually put them out at rest areas.
Yeah, usually it's like a miniature blitz. Yeah, they come out in droves. Pennsylvania, New York, they do it a lot. They do it in other states too, but New York and the other one I just mentioned, sorry.
I
Pennsylvania.
have never got pulled into a rolling scale.
I have.
Angie has.
In Mexico.
In New Mexico, Angie has got pulled into one of those in New Mexico. Well, that's
So
pretty cool.
mobile one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's
For a
done something
bubble.
I haven't done. Wow, that's really cool.
It was scary.
Your hair's
Yeah,
so long.
I've gotten pulled into one, but they just, as soon as I pulled in to the rest area, all the DOT officers were standing there and they just waved me through, so I never had to go over the scale.
They were on break.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, New York State, what they like to do, especially up on I-90, they'll actually do like 2 or 3 of the pop-ups along the highway. So you could actually potentially get pulled in 2 or 3 times in a day. Not that you would, but
That's
I'm
awesome.
sorry, I didn't get 95. Yeah, my bad. In most cases, I've only been through a pop-up maybe a dozen times, and each time I'm usually always waved through. One of the last times I went through New York, though, as they were wrapping up their day, they had somebody out there handing out pamphlets about New York regulations and laws and safe driving tips. I thought it was kind of cute.
No.
I looked at the officer and I said, "Do I get a sticker too?"
And a lollipop?
I don't like sucking on sweets.
I'll take a box of Thin Mints.
Got bad teeth. I can't. You can have the lollipop, though.
Speaking about Thin Mints, it should be coming close to Girl Scout season.
You just bought a bunch from your neighbor.
Oh, I already bought some, by the way. I don't know what I bought, but I got some.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You,
If the
you can go
neighbors are
ahead.
selling, we's buying.
You can go ahead and tell the neighbor as soon as they get them. I want at least 2 boxes of Thin Mints.
Okay, you got it. I will gather 2 boxes of Thin Mints, keep them on the truck. When we see each other, they're yours.
And of course, Lori will be putting in her order with Angie later.
All right. Well, that works for me. Hey, Lisa, if you're watching, take our order. Commercial time. We'll be back in two. Bomba. What does that say?
You're unmuted.
Oh, I'm unmuted. Hey, we're back. I was muted.
Yeah, so was I.
Chad is asking if DOT carries the portable scales also.
Yes, it's DOT that does it. Any other questions? Do they have any questions? You didn't see any pop up? Well, I did skip a section. Common reasons for being put out of service would be air leaks, brake inspections or brake issues, and tires and lights. If you got a truck with 50 chicken lights on it, you got 50 lights, one bulb is out, you will get fined. And they could put you out of service for one light.
Yep.
So have spares. And then driver's issues. Driver's license expired, don't have a medical card, or log violations. You can get put out of service. Log violation, you're down. And
One of
there's
the
cargo violations.
biggest ones, one of the biggest driver violations has been, I know in 2019, 2020, was actually the wrong class of commercial license for the vehicle they were driving.
That's a good one right there. Yeah.
That's evidently that's been a big one, but hours of service and overweight are even more.
Overweight. More load violations. If it's not cart down, strapped down, secure, improper markers, placards, paperwork, boom, you get shut down for all that.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
When the lights get in line behind me, you'll see it. Wait till we hit the
So
trailer.
that would be the minimum weight.
Yeah, commercial vehicle. Say what's the weight of commercial vehicle over the waist scale?
Also, Andy just told me a trivia question. What is the least amount of weight that you will have to be pulled into a waste scale? There is a minimum weight.
I'll see that over here because the wind's telling me. Well, that's fine.
Isn't it?
10,000 pounds is the answer. I did not know that. Angie just told me that. And our max weight is 80,000 pounds. We cannot be over 80,000 pounds.
Without permits.
Without permits, yes. Without permits. I mean, we could be a lot heavier if we have permits and height clearance. As long as we got the proper permit, we could. I don't know what the limit is, actually. Whatever the bridge limit is.
Well, look at them giant windmills, them blades that go down the highway that are like 300 feet long.
Right. That would actually be fun. I would love to do that.
I would, as long as I didn't have to make any turns.
Actually, the turns is what I'd be looking for. Give me a left. Give me a right. Give me a left. Give me a right. But I don't want to make it on one of those platforms where they watch a car or a train plow into the back end of it. I wouldn't want to be a star of that video.
There's actually a YouTube video of one of those going up a mountain where he's doing switchbacks.
I saw one where they have the blade like this, but they have to raise it up so you can make sharp turns, and then they lower it to get under trees, and then raise it back up so you can make sharp turns. Yeah, that was pretty freaking cool. You could see that blade just like going over the edge of the mountain.
Yeah.
Nicole said that she has seen the windmills in person.
Nicole has seen the windmills in person, like in them, like touched them and climbed up them. I would love to climb up the inside of one and check out the view from up top. Those suckers are high. And just going like,
Say,
Lori
Come on, say something.
Yeah,
finally.
Did you just park?
Yes.
Nice.
She saw it on a truck when she was traveling.
Oh yeah, aren't those cool? I like seeing those blades.
Gary Hodgkinson said some states you can haul more as long as you have the right plates and axles.
Yeah. Yeah, the more
Is it
axles you have, the more you can carry. But just the regular 18-wheeler that we do is 80,000 pounds is our max. But yeah, if you got those trailers with 10 different axles, you can have more weight. The more axles, the more weight you can carry.
And Phil said a big kicker is the bridge laws.
The bridge laws, yep. Yep. Well, bridges of different weights.
And you have to know
Boy,
the
scary
law
when you're
for
going down a like a little side street and there's a bridge and the bridge limit is 60,000 pounds and you're right at 55. Yeah, or over heights. Yeah, that's where you don't follow your GPS. We did that. We made a mistake. The place we were delivering to was right on the other side of this bridge. Here we go, trucking down. Nope, couldn't make it. 12.5-foot bridge. Had to back up all the way down the street.
and that's why we buy the trucker GPSs that you set your height and weight limits.
I have it.
And
I'm gonna walk him. I'll go up along the side.
oh, I do. You know, I got my Garmin too, and most of the time it's correct.
But this was like literally right across the street. And I was like, all right, I got one more minute. And then, nope. and we were so close, I didn't look at my Garmin. I just used my Google Maps.
There, got my phone to work.
Welcome.
Yeah, about time.
Anything you would like to add to this conversation?
I mean, there's a lot I'd love to add, but unfortunately, crap. I can't see any of the previous comments because I switched phones.
At 8:42-ish, Angie asked if you're going to talk about new technology.
Yeah. I'd actually already seen that. Someone mentioned earlier we were just talking about the permitting or the axle weights. Now, a lot of these newer trucks, yeah, we're limited at 80,000, but there are specifications per axle. If you have a tandem axle where your set of axles are side by side, then even though your axles are rated for 20,000 pounds and it adds up to 40, because they're close together, you can only bridge 34,000. If you have a spread axle, you can have up to 40,000 pounds on that rear end, like most flatbeds. However, for instance, I don't know about your guys' trucks, but my truck, my front end, it's rated for 13.3 instead of 12,000, like the typical weight regulation. Now, as long as between my drives and my tandems, as long as they're not over 34 and 34, I can have that up to 13.3 as long as I don't go over 80K. But having a bull guard on the front, having a second individual, the dog, all our extra crap, all that stuff adds up.
Yep. And the bunk heater, the APUs and all that.
Yep.
Car pack. Yeah, we're at 13.3. We're at 13.3 also.
Okay. What about you, Larry? Not Larry. Sorry, James.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm at 12.
Okay. Another way to look, I mean, you can always tell, look in your inside the door jamb or look at your actual tire. It'll have every tire has its own weight rating directly on it. My tires are rated for, I don't remember the exact number, but the two tires together adds up to 13.3. So I know it's 6,000 per tire. Funny thing I actually didn't realize was when I was trying to confirm that, when someone had just, or when my safety advisor had first told me about it. Crap, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. I'm screwing up.
COVID fog. I've been having that for 3 weeks now.
Yeah, no, just I don't know. It's
And
You were
now
talking
it
about
says
tires
Big C
and
on the hat.
your safety advisor.
oh yeah. So not only is the weight rating on your tire, but there's a speed rating on your tire also for what your tire is capable of handling in excess of. My tires are rated for 75-mile-an-hour max speed. So even though they are new tires, they're not recaps. Our company will not buy recaps by any means.
Especially on steers.
Right. Um,
Most states that's illegal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, thankfully it is, but and unfortunately you got idiots out there that'll still buy them anyway. Um, but having that speed rating also, if you happen to travel up to or at that speed in excess of a long period of time, your tire can literally just blow apart because that's its max. That's where it reaches the peak before it starts to have any issues.
And you don't want to lose a steer.
No, you don't.
Angie did. Doing about 65 miles an hour. Cars on either side. In the lane left of her ahead, there was a pickup truck with a ladder in the back. She saw it starting to bounce. So right there, she started slowing down. It bounced out and it landed right in front of her. And she did exactly what I taught her to. Hold that steering wheel, go straight, plow into whatever is in front of you, go over the. So she went right over the ladder, blew 3 tires down the side. Steer was the first one. And with cars on either side, she slowed down, kept it straight, and moved it over. I don't know how she did it. She was new. It was like
good for her.
Her first 6 months. I've never been so proud of her.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing to have to have been deal with. I haven't had anything anywhere near like that, but a couple months back, I was down in Texas going along. I want to say I was on US 54, and in between towns, I had somebody come up alongside of me on my passenger side. They're honking their horn. They're waving at me. They're like, "Hey, your tire's low." I'm like, "What?" And they were like, "Your round thing, it's low." And I'm like, "Oh." So sure enough, I pulled over. Come to find out, I ended up running over this bolt. It was about 2 inches long and about ½ inch wide. It literally just penetrated the tire. And
Okay, so that's keep going. Sorry. No,
I was
keep
just
going.
going to say, thankfully, we caught it where I was only down about half of the air in the tire, so I was able to get off. Part of the sidewall was rubbing on the ground, and it was hot. It was ready to blow. But thankfully, I've been on top of stuff like that. So
Be thankful that it stuck in your tire. My daughter, about 3, maybe 5 years ago, was driving behind a semi, and it ran over a bolt about that big, threw it up right through her windshield and went right between them, and it landed into the back seat. It went right through the windshield.
Ouch.
It's scary.
I've actually had it when I was driving one of my cars, following a semi. He blew a tire. It was a retread. The retread flew up in the air, and I was doing about 65 down the freeway, and my front bumper caught it, and it just like whiplashed onto the hood of the car. Luckily, it missed my front windshield, but it literally put a tire tread dent all the way down the hood of my car.
That's insane.
And it hit so hard it blew the turn signal relay out in the car.
Yeah, those alligators are dangerous.
They can be.
Kayla Otto wants to know, isn't it a law that there's no recaps on the stage?
Yes, it's probably a federal law. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it is.
I know it's law in most states. I'm not sure if it's in all of them or not.
Yeah, it's in most states. I'm not sure if it's federal. It should be if it's not.
quick and tell me how close I get to those barrels.
See, now you got yourself a spotter.
Right? Hey, just saying, I don't have to pre-trip anymore.
You have an expert doing it now.
Speaking of which, I don't know if it was Toria or somebody said that I need to do a pre-trip live that it would go viral. I was like, I don't know about all that.
Oh, let me push over that way first.
All I know is I am freaking cold and have it like the damn Arctic in here.
Yeah, well, if it wasn't 70 plus degrees in North Carolina today.
What? It's 65? Let's plummet it down to 40. Always, like I'm froze to my core.
Looks like Justin's backing in, so we're going to be quiet a little bit. Let him back.
Yeah.
He's bouncing right back into the spot. Boing, 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 boing. I mean, you're probably great. You are, honestly. Look at what you are with that.
I'll get out and double check when we're done.
What do you want to know about the far back part?
Well, I want to know how much farther back I could go. I want to, like, this
Okay,
guy's
now.
taking this spot.
In the pouring rain,
Put your hat on.
don't you mind your business.
You mind your business. Thank you, assistant.
You're like right back to the rocks from what I can see here. I don't know if you can go back very much further.
Yeah, well, I'm going to watch you in the mirror.
Oh, I don't know. You might have that.
She thinks she knows better.
Kathy says she's in North Carolina.
All I know is I married Mrs. Wright. I just didn't know her last name was all the time.
You know, I learned the secret about blindside backing.
Oh, tell me.
Somebody was telling me if you go down to like Home Depot, you can get a piece of mirror cut that the same size as your sunshade on the passenger side, and you put it on that and tilt it down, and then you can sit and look in that and see down your trailer on the blind sides.
Okay. Hold on one sec. Rio, go on. Hold on, don't tight. He's been pulling lately. All right, back to the show. Wait, where'd Larry go?
He coughed himself into oblivion.
I was gonna say, did he get caught trying to turn the Xbox on?
Those are crazy. Oh, yeah, my wife said she doesn't love me anymore. Oh, that's not what you said. She just said I couldn't play with Xbox.
Oh, sorry, I missed it. Sorry.
You know, I was asking, where did Larry go?
You want to know where you went?
I'm here.
I thought he got caught trying to turn the Xbox on.
Not right now. After the game. I mean, after the show, I will play a game.
Hey, I'm just glad I finally found my damn Roku remote. It'd been missing for over a year.
Oh my god, that would drive me crazy.
We've already had to buy like 2 or 3 of those things.
Every time I go to try and buy one, I can't find them. They're out of stock.
Ah, crap.
So, yeah, so how about some of that way station technology?
Yes, how about that way station technology?
So, let's see. I mean, we can start with weigh in motion.
Sounds like a plan.
A lot of these weigh stations we come across, a lot of times you'll see signs that say weigh in motion ahead. Usually after that, there'll be a sign say pre-pass holders follow in-cab signal, or it'll say follow lighted signal. Weigh stations have become very technological in every aspect that you could imagine, especially for as big as these trucks are. So there's usually rectangular plates in the highway. As long as we're in the middle of our lane, we roll right over them. And they're hooked up to the main computers inside of the weigh station. So as we go over them, we actually trigger a camera, an infrared camera, and a speed detector as we go over them. So actually, as we approach the weigh station, not only can DOT already see the safety inspection sticker that's supposed to be on the side of your truck, they can also see, I'm sorry, random person just came pulling up the wrong direction in the truck area.
Oh, no.
And I just wanted to make sure I could see Chris. That was very, very weird. So, where was I? I'm sorry.
You were talking about they can already see the inspection sticker.
Right. As well as they can see our IFTA, which is our International Fuel Tax Agreement or whatever, which every company or motor carrier is required to have. They can see our US DOT numbers, our motor carrier numbers. Now, motor carrier number is not required by law to be on the side of the truck. Your DOT number is. You're not even required to have the name of your company on the side of your truck. Give me 1 second. We're coming back out of the rain.
We had an incident with our DOT number. We got pulled in because our 5 fell off. So I had to promise them that I'll stop at the next truck stop, which is probably like 5 miles down the road, and I will pick up a 5 and I will put it on there. So I had a nice FedEx numbers with a funky ass 5 on it until I got to the yard and got a whole new sticker across.
So, like I was saying, with the weigh in motion, usually there's another radar within about 500 yards of those plates in the road. Excuse me. So when we trigger those plates in the road, like I said, there are multiple cameras. Some DOT weigh stations actually have temperature sensor cameras, so they can read the temperature on our tires as we roll through. Usually, with the temperature reading, they can estimate or assume how much air pressure is in our tires. So with all of that stuff, all that information coming through the computer, just by rolling over those plates and triggering the cameras, they can usually look at it and be like, we're pulling him in. Next thing you know, my pre-pass will go red, or the lighted sign beyond that will light up saying truck must enter scale house. A lot of times, I know a lot of drivers don't realize this, but those same camera setups, you might see them on one side of the highway and there's no weigh station. Well, what that is there's actually a weigh station on the other side of the highway, and there's usually a cop. I think there's actually one of the videos or one of the pictures I shared with Angie earlier this week actually shows this in detail. But usually, a lot of times, you'll see a police officer sitting somewhere along the trees, waiting for an alert from the weigh station that the camera caught an infraction, whether it be out of service DOT number, your IFTA is out of date, your tires are really, really hot, like they might be about to blow or something because they're under pressure or something. Oh, dude. Dog's being gross. Apparently, he was drooling, and then he did one of these.
Uh,
Got his drool all over his face, like a big old snot.
slobber rockets.
It was a slobber knocker. So now, I don't know if you guys know this, but New Mexico, particularly, they have actual radiation scanners. A lot of times, you'll come through a weigh station. If you see these huge iron pillars that you have to drive by, and they're usually painted yellow. Those are a lot of people might think they're X-ray scanners. No, they're radiation scanners to ensure that you're not hauling something you shouldn't be hauling through a specific city. And another major piece of technology also is you'll see down at the border patrols. I'm sure you guys have been through the border checkpoints. All right.
Yeah.
So they do have X-ray scanners.
Mhm.
They have a mobile unit, which actually looks like a huge utility Chevy truck. We'll say like a 5500. They've got this huge computer box sitting on where the bed of the truck would be. And they have this arm that comes off the back, off the top or whatever. It swings over. It drops down. As you drive past it, it's giving them an X-ray imaging of your truck and trailer inside and out. They can literally see through you.
Right?
That's usually how they catch the smugglers too. So,
yeah.
But they've definitely got some really huge high-tech crap out there to keep us under control. A lot of companies and a lot of drivers do slip through the cracks. We promote safety. We try to. Don't get me wrong. We all do a little speeding or might tailgate a little bit, not intentionally from time to time. But it's really heat of the moment. We can't promise to be 100% 100% of the time. We're all flawed to some degree. So we do. I'll be the first to admit I make mistakes. Sometimes I do things I shouldn't do. Do I condone it in any way? Absolutely not, especially driving this truck. But I never push myself beyond something that I know I can't control.
Yeah. Well, that's probably how they knew I had a flat tire. The infrared.
Eat a hot pocket first night and enjoy it.
She's gonna make me starve.
You have enough fat and you'll be all right.
Gary
She
Hodgkins,
And I got to make you dinner right now. I got a sloppy Joe's.
Gary Hodgkins says Knoxville, Tennessee has a scale that does that, and it lies.
Liar. Liar. Nashville, Tennessee has a scale that lies. I'm sure
Wait a minute, Larry.
almost all of them do.
Larry, you said you're getting what?
Sloppy Joe.
Sloppy Joe's.
Ah,
She's cooking it
We're
right
doing-
now. Oh my God, it smells so good.
we're getting ready to do not quesadillas, but tostadas
Yum.
after the show.
You gonna make them live?
That depends on whether she wants to set up the camera to do live or not.
Yep. We're not. As soon as we get off of here, I'm eating. I'm starving. I've been ate since breakfast.
No, I haven't even made them yet.
Get
So
some hot pockets. She said I could suffer and have one
What?
hot pocket. We were talking earlier today, and I was under the impression she was going to cook spaghetti for me.
That must have been in your brain. You
Is
didn't
it a
say no.
spaghetti hot pocket?
I was talking about pulling the meat out of the freezer and putting it in the fridge the other day. We talked about it. You were there.
wait a minute. She said you can have one. That means one box, right?
No, spaghetti.
Right, one whole box, 10 of them.
She
One
jumps in the bag,
spaghetti,
she
one
opens the
noodle?
freezer, scrubs out the hot pockets. She's like, you can have one of these and deal with it. Trying to make me starve.
Maybe she's saying something.
Don't you know there's two ways to a man's heart, woman?
Chad's got a question for you guys.
Chad has a question for us.
He says, does DOT have the right to cut the locks on a trailer door for an inspection?
Yes. If they have reasonable suspicion of illegal activity, Banana.
Or that you
Well, we haul hazmat material, and if they suspect with all the technology they have, if they see a leak inside the trailer of hazmat, they will open it up and inspect it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I've
Under
actually.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's right. I've actually had them break the seal and pop my trailer open to check the securement during a level 1. Make sure I had my straps and everything in there so that my load wasn't going to shift.
Yep. I
Yeah,
have not
they-
had to deal with that, but I'm sure there's some hoops we got to jump through. I would call, first thing I would do is call dispatch and notify them that they're cutting the seal,
Always.
and then let them deal with it from there.
Well, I did that, but I have a whole package of seals here in the truck with me. So as soon as they cut it, I took pictures of the DOT officer cutting it, called the company, told them what was going on. Then I put the seal that I have with me on the truck, and I emailed all that to the company.
Yeah,
Gary,
we have
that
to
is
have two types of seals. We got the
absolutely insane.
plastic seal. Go ahead, Justin. Sorry.
I was just saying, to Gary's comment, that's insane. I
That's
mean,
the
did
comment.
you
What was the
literally
comment?
have a nuclear weapon in there, or that's just what they thought it was when it came up on X-ray?
He had a load of kitty litter that easily showed, but he got pulled in saying it was a nuclear weapon in the middle of his load.
Oh crap! Did
Yeah,
they find
I
it?
want to know more about that.
Yeah, me too. Was there one, or did they just think there was one? Yeah, those are the kinds I have. I got those metal ones. I got the plastic ones, and I have bolts.
I was going to say that looks like a bag of contraband.
And I also I got a wire. It's a wire about 2 feet. I don't like the wires. They're hard to cut off.
Yeah, I don't like the wires either. I just use my vice grips and like.
Yeah.
Next to bolt cutters, my vice grips have that little plier cutter in the middle. So,
I'm going to give you one of the Roby ones for the bolts.
I've got these for the wires and the metal seals, and then the bolt seals. I have a small pair of bolt cutters in the jockey box.
Yeah, I got them also, but there's a couple places I go to and they have those Robies. They just clip it on there and they go, and it's off. Like, I want one of those.
I want one. I have one, but it's too big and bulky to keep in my tool bag.
Oh, this one that these guys got at this one place we usually go to, it is perfect. It's just like a hand. It looks like a drill, and it just grabs onto the bolt, and it has a blade and a circular blade. It cuts it right off. It's handheld.
Oh,
it's
no.
like this size right
They
there.
actually got the ones with the bolt cutter jaws.
No, this one has got
makes
a hook. It's got a hook and a circular blade comes out and it just chops right through it. It will work on the wires. It will work on the bolts. It will work on almost any seal. This thing's awesome.
DeWalt makes one that's the actual bolt cutter jaws that pinch it and snap it.
I don't know if you guys see
this
it or
one,
not, but Gary
this
gave
one's
us
like a Dremel on steroids. It's about the size of a Dremel. It's freaking awesome.
That's what I want. The one that I have a full Chris. Not this most recent Christmas, but the year before last, she bought me a tool set. Everything power, from a power ratchet to a power drill, power saw, you name it. I have a sanding disc or cutting blade on one of them, but it's literally like this big, and it's like, I don't want to keep that on the truck.
Right.
Like, it just takes up too much space. You know, I'm one of those prepared drivers. I've got a little bit of everything. I've got shorts, I've got pants, I've got long socks, short socks, t-shirts, long shirts, sweaters, coats. I have everything I could possibly need. So when it comes to tools, because of weight, I want to try to keep my tools to a minimum, especially seeing as the company that I work for, if something goes wrong, yeah, I stopped in the shop, you're paying for it. So, I mean,
Yeah,
what's the
but
point, you know?
that one little Dremel will probably get rid of about 6 vice grips, 9s, dikes. I get rid of all those cutters that I have on my truck. And it weighs like nothing at all. I don't know the exact name, but I think it was a Ryobi. I think that's what it was.
Okay. So Gary gave us an update on that nuclear load of kitty litter.
All right.
So Gary said they just looked at my paperwork and laughed and said that was their new $2 million piece of shit. I absolutely believe it.
I'm sure by now they've worked out the bugs.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, what do you think, guys? Hour and a half is a good show?
I think so, yeah.
I agree.
I'll take
I'm
it
getting
back to
tired
the
and my
beginning.
throat is starting
Cut
to hurt.
it out.
Cut it out. We were close to the Painted Ladies when we went to San Francisco. We were really close to them
Really?
in the semi.
Okay.
Well, actually, we were bobtailing. But yeah, we drove around San Francisco in the cab. That was fun.
That's great. Something I would do.
That was a blast. We got as close to Fisherman's Wharf as we could. Parked on the side of the street. Taught Angie about the wheels, turning away and to the curb. You're facing down, you turn your wheels to the curb. So if you roll, it bumps on the curb. If you're facing up, you turn them away. So when it starts coming up, the back of the tire hits the curb.
Yep.
That's a San Francisco treat.
Yeah.
That was fun. So, guys, I say we call it a night.
I
Unless
agree.
you have anything to add?
Any last second questions from anybody?
That's a good one. Any last questions popping up?
Chad said it was a good show tonight. Thank y'all and have a good night.
Chad said it was a good show tonight. Thank you, Chad. Appreciate
Yeah,
Thank
it.
you.
yeah, we appreciate you always coming out and giving us some support.
Absolutely. You have
Yeah, 'cause
anything
we
to
wouldn't
say,
be-
Angie?
You guys did awesome.
Angie said we did awesome. We got
I mean,
the
I
proof
didn't
before
crap
the
until I
box.
was able to pull over.
It's called trucking.
I'm glad you pulled over, but welcome to trucking.
Yep.
We can never
You-
control
you-
anything that happens.
Usually the portion of the rolling show isn't as crappy as it was tonight. So, but
Actually, it wasn't as bad as you think. We heard you. We heard you pretty clear.
I couldn't hear you guys worth a damn.
Well, you don't need to hear us anyways.
I mean, you're as bad as my old lady anyway. So,
What'd you say? What?
exactly.
Yeah, it's her first night out there on the truck with him, and he's going to end up sleeping in the jockey box.
She'll be taking a video of the birth of a new truck driver in the morning.
How freaking awesome. When does she get behind the wheel? In the morning?
I gotta wait for my drug test results to come back first.
So what, about a week or so? A week?
No, probably beginning of the week, I would say.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Welcome. I'm excited. I'm so excited for you.
I'm excited for me.
Oh, dude, we're both excited. I'm super excited to be able to train her.
Man.
You know, my company's been absolutely phenomenal about all of it. They're not totally with it, but they're not against it either. So
Give them a couple months and they'll be all for it. They'll be riding high on the hog.
And it's like I told my dispatcher today. I said, look, you know, I know the worst problem I have about my job and my career is time management. I absolutely suck at it. But with her on the truck, kicking my butt every day, I mean, we run better miles, even me running solo. So if I run better miles, you know, solo with her keeping me in line, imagine how we're going to run in teams, you know?
Time management is a lot easier when there's two of you driving.
Okay, I think that Beast B011 needs to be blocked and branded.
Did you hear that?
No.
A comment just came up at me and the A.
He said it needs to be blocked and
Okay,
branded.
okay, right now. Thank you. Got it.
It may be after 8 o'clock, but that's pushing it to the extreme.
Yep.
What
I
does
don't
it say?
think we will not settle for that any of that conversation.
We don't want any of that in here. There's really no need for that, dude.
No. So, but I'm gonna jump out of here. I'm gonna have a hot pocket and then starve and suffer. And
I'm
then
gonna
I'm
have
gonna
some
snuggle
Snap
my
and
hug the rest
Joe.
of the night because I missed her.
I'm starving. I'm a starving Marvin.
I might even get me some ice cream.
You got a Chris in the truck. Chris in the truck.
I
Chris
was told I might
in
have
the
yogurt
truck.
instead. It's already melted.
Chris in the truck. Okay, I'm hooked on that. I'm sorry.
Yes. It's been
My
a long
OCD,
month.
my OCD was kicking in.
Yeah.
Or that was my ADD. ADD.
Well, either way, I'm at least going to say goodbye and good night. Everyone, thanks for having us. Thanks for coming in, giving us the support and the love that you show us every week. On that note, I'm going to bounce so I can spend some time with my amazing better half. And Big Spoon will catch you on the flip.
All right. Love you guys.
Love
Yep.
ya.
I'm gonna get out of here too because I gotta go cook some tostadas.
And as
Can I
always,
come
be
over?
safe out there.
We're in
Can I come
Baytown,
over,
Texas.
Fluffy?
We in Baytown, Texas. Come get some.
I just shut down. I only got 33 minutes left on the clock.
Well, put a jet engine on that truck. You can make it.
All right. Well, y'all have a great night. I'll catch up with you, if not sooner than later, next week.
Absolutely.
All right. You guys
Bye,
take care.
everybody.